Hello, good evening. So, this evening I want to introduce a little bit what is going on also from the European point of view on OpenPOWER and what our company is doing on this specific area for developing the market and the applications on OpenPOWER machines. The idea is basically, first of all, to introduce the company and later on go through what we are doing in detail on the OpenPOWER community. E4 is a European company. It is specialized in high-performance computing, and we integrate, develop, and create solutions on clusters and solutions and storages for high performance. Basically, it's totally dedicated to this kind of market. Since 15 years, we are active in deploying this kind of machines, and we have a lot of experience on the design and the integration of the solution. So actually, we are a front end to the customer to speak with them, collect the requirements, understand what kind of application they run and how they run this application. So it's exactly the conjunction between the manufacturer and the end users. So we have 3 specializations in the company, leveraging on the know-how we have inside our company. We, first of all, integrate our product. So it means we integrate the server, we integrate the storages, we integrate the single brick that create the high-performance solution. We make the high-performance solution, so the cluster or the extreme large storages. Or we also design a specific solution for a specific customer. We have seen previously presentation about genomics. We have a complete full solutions for genomics since years, and we talk with our customer, trying to understand where are the limits they have, where are the bottlenecks, and to modify our solution in a way that they are able to bring the best from the hardware, from the solution, from the middleware, because we don't have to forget the specific middleware of tools that you need to make your solution available for the end user. And we have also a part that is dedicated to R&D and prototyping new machines or new full solution in terms of creating them, so something that even doesn't exist. So we made prototypes for European HPC centers since years, and we are active in many projects funded from the European company. So these are the premises of what we do and how we interact with our customers. So what is the feeling we have? What is what the community wants to see in the OpenPOWER? So today, we are talking a lot about OpenPOWER. We have seen a lot of computation done on these machines, but we want to make easy the access to the machine to the people that wants to bring the application and run the application. We need really to create a kind of community around these machines. And we cannot leverage only on the IBM services because, of course, this wants to be a foundation. People that interact, that collaborate, to create new machines, new solutions, new opportunities to improve what is existing. We are taking care of giving to the end user a full certified, a full complete solution based on OpenPOWER machines. Okay, that's the first and most important point for us. How we do it? So we had a long experience on designing high-performance computing suites of software and middlewares for our customers. So we select the compiler, we pre-install everything, the MPI library, the InfiniBand stacks, we stress the test, the system, we make all the quality assurance, because when you have to deploy hundreds or thousands of machines in a row, you need to have a quality assurance to the system. We make all the personalized configuration of the operating system. We benchmark the solution. So basically, at the end of the day, the customer has, through open source tools, a full stack of softwares that they can use every day on their cluster. That's the point. Why we want to do this? Because we want to make affordable the possibility to use OpenPOWER machines. All these things already exist. Most of them you have to buy. They are licensed. They are not free. So we want to create a suite which is fully free. The cost is just the pre-configuration, but then you can maintain by yourself, or you can change, you can install, you can modify, whatever you like. What's the machine where we are working now? It's one of the OpenPOWER server, you know very well, is Firestone for IBM or Polaris for Wistron. Our code name is OP205, and is a dual GPU machine with 2 Power 8 processor and up to 1 terabyte of RAM memory. This machine is dedicated to high-performance computing, so that's the reason because we selected this machine from Wistron. We sourced it directly from them. And out of this machine, we have created a cluster that we have in-house. That is the cluster we use for developing our set of tools. And it is also the cluster we want to, as soon as we have finished, it's almost done, is we want to give for remote access to our potential customer and to the people of the community. I know that there are some clusters, but actually owned by IBM, where you can have remote access. We want to create a different one, a completely open source tool cluster. In fact, inside there are queuing system, monitoring tool, parallel shells, everything you are used to have on the cluster. The only exception, we want to bring both free open source compilers and proprietary compilers to see the difference in terms of performance, to see if it is possible or not to achieve similar results in terms of time to solution. So, from our experience, what we need to do is, first of all, to make stable the operative system, to find a way to provision the nodes in an automatic way without any problem. So the idea is to use Cobbler and Puppet. Of course, all the standard tool, you know, LDAP, SLARM. You can use even LSF, but it's not in our idea to use the LSF stuff. Compilers, the benchmarks tool. It's really important to have a set of benchmark tool that works properly into the machine. Because when we create solution for high-performance computing, we need to have homogeneous results from every single compute node. I can tell you, but I'm sure some of you are familiar with this kind of problem, when you have a large amount of compute nodes and you want to run an application fully parallel across all these nodes, several times you observe differences in each single node in terms of performance. And how to solve this problem, it can be really problematic if the system is in production. We don't want this kind of problem. We want to solve it in advance. And that's the reason, because we have a system to test extensively all the nodes to get the result, to get the average of the value of the time to solution, and all the detail about the memory, all the subsets like the InfiniBand, the GPUs. Everything has to work properly with the right performance. Otherwise, we need to identify the problem and solve it. Then, of course, all the stack for scientific libraries, and parallel file system, and infrastructure management. You need, of course, something to monitor your system at the end. So all these tools will be pre-configured and available for all people that wants to test the solution. And it seems silly to do these things, talking with people in the HPC market, but it's not so simple. Every single platform has its own peculiar differences that you have to understand and you have to solve before being production. If you are talking about seed systems, 1 or 2 boxes, there's nothing wrong to having even small problems. But on a real production system, and we want to go in this direction with OpenPOWER, we need to solve first with these issues. This is also an important task for cost reduction. We want to be aggressive in terms of pricing, competitive in the HPC market in terms of pricing, so we need to have these kind of tools available. It must be everything properly done if we want to be cost effective. Okay, this is an example of what we are doing with Cobbler. We are working with the CentOS 7, and this is just a simple example. We are working with Xcat, we are working with Puppet, with Ansible to create all the books and all the pre-configured stuff that you can basically launch automatically. With Cobbler, you can deploy as many nodes as you want. All these things has been basically done. Everything is ready. It's just under testing. So let me briefly conclude about our work inside the OpenPOWER. There is something is missing in this list, and it's really important. I just realized a couple of hours ago, speaking with the people, what is missing here. And one information is we are doing a lot of work on a European base. I saw a lot of presentation, and not many people comes from Europe. It means that OpenPOWER is quite strong. Yeah, I know you. In fact, I said not many. If we want to make it growing in Europe, we need to have more people working on it. So I just realized that one of the conclusions is we are active, we are working. It's a message for the people that wants to join and wants to enlarge the ecosystem. And then, of course, E4 is now creating hardware solution and set of tools for manage the cluster. We want to give remote access to people that wants to develop application, bring the application, test the machine, and see how it works, if there is something properly done or not. If there are problems, please give a feedback to us. It's really important. And what we can do is also a performance tuning service. So when you have a machine, we give all the support to understand what is not going right with your machine. And we will try to do our best. Okay, thank you. If there are questions, please.